So, Jay, you just wanted to be an organ donor because you're a huge supporter of the cause. You didn't have a family member or anything like that. But how did you get the ball rolling in researching and finding out how to go about it?
So I guess with most things, I started doing a bit of Googling on living organ donation in Australia, and I noticed that kidney.org.au had a lot of information and resources for both donors and recipients. So I started reading into an information booklet, which was an introduction into kidney donation that had been drafted by living donors, which I found really helpful because there were people who had a lived experience, so kind of knew what to put in there. Obviously, everyone's journey is a bit different, and there were certainly things that weren't covered in there, but we were also going through COVID at the same time, so that certainly complicated things. Um, but what I did was in the initial stages, as it was kind of mentioned in the booklet, was that I reached out to my GP as well as the transplant coordinator at my local public hospital and kicked off discussions about what would be required to become a living organ donor. And in the initial stages, as it was a lot of questions about why I wanted to donate, as well as questions about my family history. As part of the process, there were also some questions about with a psychologist actually about to determine if I was of sound mind to donate as well.
Yeah. And was there any point in that process that it was difficult or really challenging to get through, or was it just a matter of jumping through all the hoops?
I'd say it was a bit of both, actually. There was the process there. I think the challenge that I had was that um, within the people that I was working with in like the medical teams and things and the various things that required the tests, there were a lot of people that told me, oh, I haven't done this before, or we don't do this very often, so we're just learning as we go,
Yeah.
which I found really hard because I was coming at it completely cold and I was really looking for that support network and that guidance from my medical teams and the people I was working with. So it was a lot of I was trying to inform myself as much as I could and trying to guide them along. So I felt like a lot of the burden was placed on me to know what to do.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of, the various blood tests and things that I had. Sometimes they would send it off to the wrong place or it would have been done incorrectly. So, you'd have to, it was just the grin and bear it, kind of go back, get it done again. And everyone was trying to do the best they can. It just, because it is such a rare thing to do, there's not enough, I guess, there's not a how-to guide, I suppose,
Yeah.
for a lot of people on this.
Yeah. And was there any point where you were thinking this is just getting too difficult? Maybe I've made the wrong decision. What was there points in the
I
game?
don't think I ever thought I'd made the wrong decision, and I just felt like I was tired, particularly with the rigorous testing, and I got to the 12-month mark and they said, "Oh, because it's been 12 months, you have to go back and do all of your initial tests again so that they remain current." And I was like, "Oh, this is just it's never ending."
Mm,
You get through the stage 1 testing and that's done, and then you go to stage 2, and then to go back and have to do some of them again because they're not fun tests. So that was a bit frustrating. But I felt as well that I'd come so far that in my mind there was no turning back. Not because I felt obligated, but because I was really committed to it, and I wanted to see it through.
yeah. Yeah. So having that self-determination is an important thing
Yeah,
going through the process.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and having family and friends who are really supportive as well, I think is important. I mean, I was really lucky that my family have been really supportive through this whole process and my partner in particular.
Yeah.
So having that support network and having those early discussions with family and friends, I think is really vital.